So once again, I'm back, and I got my buddy Shawn James on the, let's say like a DJ thing, ones and twos, but it's okay. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I don't know, man. I think I want you to promote your stuff at the end because it's been so much crazy stuff. And I was talking to a guy today, and I said, in the next few months, people don't know what's going to hit them. I've been looking at stuff today. I've been sending you stuff. You see what's going on in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Hope those people do well because that's a big problem, right?
That's a serious problem.
Sound like remember Hurricane Katrina, doesn't it? Remember that?
Yeah.
But this is Shawn James, my guest tonight, and he's the author of The Man Crisis and stuff like that. But he's got books, literature and stuff like that, so support him. But we gotta sit there and think to ourselves, if you can support me, Shawn James, Gavin, anybody's name, just throw people out there. We wouldn't be in these problems like we got in Mississippi and this and all this other stuff. This is the result of bad policy too. Why do we got that stuff going on in Mississippi? Why do we have this going on? Why do we have that going on, right? You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I understand. Well,
like in New York, you got a asshole sitting up there named Eric Adams.
Yeah.
I mean, you call him the cream of wheat man.
Yeah.
Is he getting any better?
Nope. He's worse. I just say he's not fit for office.
Well, yeah. Now, so I talked about Jackson, Mississippi thing, but I want to play something for you. I'm just going to pull up some videos tonight. I want you to, they always, what's the old saying, Shawn, hypocrisy, lie don't care who tell it do it. Lie doesn't care, does it, bro?
No.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad, because Joe Biden is a liar. And I'm going to play this for you just so you can hear this.
All right.
So I'm going to play a couple of clips tonight just to remind you, hey, look, Shawn, it's midterm season. You know what it is, right?
Yeah, I know what it is.
So here they come again. They're trying to give us the good old-fashioned banana in the tailpipe.
Yep.
Let me put this out first.
On two.
Copyright Act of 1976. This is used for reporting, criticism, teaching. In other words, this may not be infringing. Copyright Act of 1976. All right, let's get this party started.
President Joe Biden spoke about his new Safer America plan in Pennsylvania. The plan aims to increase police funding in order to combat violence and strengthen public trust in law enforcement. Biden called attacks on the FBI for doing their job, quote, sickening. There have been more threats toward the FBI and calls from GOP lawmakers to defund the organization following the raid of former President Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago. Biden condemned any threats made against law enforcement. Quote, I'm opposed to defunding the police. I'm also opposed to defunding the FBI.
What are we teaching our children? It's just that simple. Now it's sickening to see the new attacks on the FBI. Threatening the lives of law enforcement agents and their families for simply carrying out the law and doing their job. Look, I want to say it as clear as I can. There's no place in this country, no place for endangering the lives of law enforcement. No place. None, never, period. I'm opposed to defunding the police. I'm also opposed to defunding the FBI. Look, there's no greater responsibility for government
Pause there right there. I thought they were funding the police. Huh?
It sounds like they're getting ready to do Crime Bill 2.0.
Exactly. He said, I'm funding, not to fund the FBI. You want IRS agents, you want FBI agents, you want all of it. He said, I'm not for defunding the FBI. Didn't he just say that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure he clearly said that. He said there should be no attacks on law enforcement, right?
Yep.
But when I sent you that thing about the Uhuru movement down there in St. Louis, in St. Petersburg, Florida, they raided them. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a black group now. I'm just letting you know, right?
Yep.
So, like I told the guy, you talking about Donald Trump, going after Trump, you start going after regular citizens too. Don't think about it. They ain't coming after black people now. Okay? Watch out.
No critical thinking at all. They're not thinking. They start with one and then they go after others.
Well, like I always say, Shawn, Trump is a symptom of what they're going to do to people. Not him. Don't worry about him so much. Worry about yourself.
Yep. Because you're next. Because
they're labeling people who don't agree with them MAGA Republicans who may not have nothing to do with either party.
Yep.
So let's continue with Biden. I want you to hear what he's saying though. He's an interesting fellow. You know, he's interesting. But you heard him say we don't want to defund the police. You heard him say that, right? That ain't me saying it. They're saying it now. That's not what he told you in 2020 now. Okay?
Nope.
So he going about face. You know, you call him Joker Joe, right?
Yep.
He flipping the hand.
Yep.
You know, like a magician sleight of hand.
Yep.
You put a little rabbit out the head. Well, they about to put some rabbits on the head now.
Ensuring the safety of our people. Every parent should be able to know when the kid leaves home to go to school or just walk the street, they're going to come home safely. We can do this. We have to do this. We just need to remember who we are. We are the United States of America. And when we are united, there is not a single thing we cannot do. Not a single thing.
Hey, Shawn, he's selling you a good bag of goods, ain't he?
Yes, he is. He's running a game.
Okay, just playing the bag.
I mean it. So, folks, let's remember who in God's name we are. I really mean it. What our values are. What we believe. We the people. That's how our Constitution starts. The Declaration. We the people. It's who we are. And by the way, no one expects politics to be a patty cake. They sometimes get mean as hell. But the idea you turn on a television and see senior senators and congressmen saying, if such and such happens, there'll be blood in the street. Where the hell are we? Well, that's all I'm looking for. And folks, do me a favor. Presumptuous of me to say that. But think about doing me a favor. Please elect the Attorney General of the Senate. Elect that big old boy to be governor. And by the way, there are a lot of really, and I mean this, I'm not being solicitous. Remember what used to be the criticism of Biden when I was running? Biden's too bipartisan. Biden has too many Republican friends. There's a lot of Republicans I've worked with for all the years in the Senate. I got a lot done. We respected each other. When we disagreed on principle. We then went and had lunch together. Not a joke. What in God's name has happened to that in the United States of America? So, folks, let's bring it back. We can do this. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
Damn, man, he was so... Dang, Shawn, he's thinking like a good old car salesman.
Yep. running a con game on all these people out here, and this what he's talking about is absolutely ridiculous.
What are you talking about now? Let me fill me in. What you talking about? You talking about the
that whole, that all that rambling. What he was talking about. I mean, he doesn't really understand what's going on here, as related to how Donald Trump's base is, and the whole thing is he keeps playing with fire, not understanding he may possibly get burnt because these guys aren't playing.
Yeah, but I'm saying now you're talking about law enforcement, Safe America plan. I read that Safe America plan. They're talking about putting, guess what, 100,000 cops on the street. What do they remind you of? 1994. Hey, must I remind you? I am Jim Crow Joe, ain't I?
Yeah, I call him Joker Joe. He tells you one thing and then he does another.
Well, let me say something. What's the old saying, Shawn? If you do not understand history, you will be doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like that's what to happen again?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure because that's him saying that. Now he's saying, I don't want to defund the police. I don't want an FBI. You know why? Because you want a sick 'em dog out there for you now.
Yeah, and he wants to send them directly to black people. He wants to send all of these officers after black people, but he may get in his own way because his own party, with their jab mandates and other policies, may impede them from being able to hire 100,000 officers and 87,000 agents because you can't find the people right now to fill these jobs.
Well, speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to get to that later, but let's get to it now. Because, see, Shawn, they've been fooling people for a lot of years. What is a Nazi, Shawn?
They are a fascist who is loyal to the fascist party.
Well, do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Joe Biden can be a Nazi, but Muriel Bowers in D.C. can be a Nazi too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think what she's doing is Nazi-like?
It is. It is like a Nazi because you want to deny black children a right to an education, and you're a black person, but you're so loyal to this party, you're not thinking about the effects on these black children. It's all about you being loyal to the party, just like the Nazis who were out here following orders.
Okay, I'm trying to pull this up. I hope it comes up because we got a big problem with the NAACP. You know, we always have anyway.
Yeah.
But, all right. This is for commentary purposes only.
I remember the first day I got something I didn't know, and I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy.
Hey, welcome back. A warning today from local civil rights leaders over D.C.'s strict COVID-19 vaccine requirement for students 12 and over. They believe it could do more harm than good. And at issue here, concerns of an unfair effect on minority students that would have essentially banned them from the classroom. Tom Fitzgerald standing by live at the Wilson building tonight with more on this policy. Hey, Fitz.
Hey, Joe, this is pretty ironclad. You've got a letter from the D.C. superintendent of schools to parents that says this. All students must have up-to-date immunization certificates on file with the school within the first 20 days of school, or they will not be allowed to attend school or school activities until that immunization record is secured by the school. Now, all of this, the president of the D.C. branch of the NAACP raising big concerns. Takashi Ali is the president. We tried repeatedly to reach out to her, but she did tell Fox News she's worried about this because of the fact she says black students will be disproportionately affected by this mandate due to their lower COVID-19 vaccination rates. She's concerned they'd be kept out of schools.
We cannot force families or students to be vaccinated, so there must be an option for those students to obtain quality education. And Black and brown students within this city will not be left behind.
Okay, so what is the NAAC's answer to all of this? Well, they say what they want is upgraded state-of-the-art remote learning for these students who don't qualify under this COVID-19 mandate. Now, according to D.C. government data,
nearly all of the white students between 12 and 15 years old have gotten their COVID-19 vaccinations. But when you look at the numbers for African-American students, that falls to 61%. Now, just last week, Mayor Muriel Bowser questioned those numbers and said to her, this is an issue of health safety.
I don't think that number is correct. We have a substantially fewer number of kids that we have to engage with vaccination. And I explained why it's important.
Look, we wanted to know from the mayor's office, from the DC school superintendent, and from DC Health what the reality of these numbers are, but we have not heard back as of yet. In the meantime, officials are encouraging students who are unvaccinated to take advantage of these mobile vaccination units that have been visiting schools near underserved neighborhoods. A reminder, DC public schools start on Monday. We'll send it back in here.
Okay. All right, let me let's talk about that for a second. Well,
the ripe banana is one of the most dangerous.
Sorry about that, Shawn. Go ahead, talk. Go ahead and say it, brother. What are your thoughts there?
Well, when I look at this whole situation in DC, your Muriel Bowser is looking like a straight up bootlick, and she's basically looking to get the numbers up so that she can try to get another job in Washington or with the Biden administration, because what she's doing really here is violating these children's civil rights to a free public education that was established by Brown versus Board of Education. So we already have her violating these children's federal constitutional rights. And she's also, what's really disturbing about this is you've got a black woman oppressing black people, just like we have Eric Adams here oppressing black people, denying them a right to work with this jab mandate. And again, this is all unnecessary because the CDC guidelines already say there's no difference between jabbed and unjabbed. So why are we continuing to press with mandates and pressing with mandates to keep people out of society when the CDC has already said that there is no difference between the two? So this is basically your mayor looking to try to virtue signal, hoping to gain favor with white supremacists and showing us that she's more loyal to white supremacy than she is to black people. Because what she's doing is, again, showing us that who she's really loyal to, just like your Eric Adams is showing us who he's loyal to, because there's no need for these mandates. The rest of the country has moved on. The rest of the world has moved on. But she's still trying to hold on to this because she's hoping, oh, if I get all of this compliance, the Biden administration will give me some sort of job. This is the covert contract that many of these black politicians like your Muriel Bowser and Eric Adams want to have, not understanding that the white supremacist is not offering them anything, and any sort of contract with them will be null and void whatsoever. But now that the NAACP is getting involved, we see that this is really just, again, anti-black racism. And what's sad is we've got a black bootleg participating in anti-black racism against black children.
Well, that NAACP woman you just saw right there, she's actually a hypocrite too, because they asked her if she can pursue legal action. She said, no, we just want to talk about no, this is a legal case. You violating my civil rights now, so you need to be pursuing legal action against her.
Yeah, because this is a constitutional case. This is about the children's federal right to a public education. And also, your Muriel Bowser doesn't even understand how she's undercutting herself, because if those kids don't go to school, guess what? You're going to lose billions in federal funds. That's the same thing that's happening here in New York. They're getting ready to risk billions in federal funds because every kid that's in school, you get $5,000 to $15,000 for. And this is one of the reasons why California backed off their jab mandate, because they saw they were losing lots of students over the course of the last school year. And because they saw themselves losing all those students and losing all that federal money, they decided to pull back. But it seems like these East Coast politicians, they don't seem to know how to critically think about anything. So they're sitting there talking about, oh, we want these mandates, not understanding every unvaccinated kid is $5,000 to $15,000 in federal money. And when kids don't go to school, your school system loses money, your city loses lots of tax revenue, and this is just going to hurt you in the long term. And in addition to alienating all of those voters out there, especially those black voters, you're going to wind up alienating a lot of other people in high up places, especially in big business. And your Muriel Bowser's name will be mud, just like your Eric Adams will possibly be mud as a result of them going out here and continuing to push policies that are going to hurt big business, because a lot of people rely on those federal funds, and a lot of those schools rely on those federal funds, and a lot of things like school lunch and book companies, they rely on those federal funds. And these politicians are going out here cutting off all of these people from their funding with this backwards policy.
Well, let me say something about that. You know what that shows me, though? Even though I don't believe that almost all them white students vaccinated neither, I think that's a lie too.
Yeah.
But that's just, they're trying to, but see, the fact that they know that shows that, hey, a lot of people smarter than everything too, right?
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know, that just shows you that we're not, it's crazy they're trying to make a sound now. Right? Just letting you know.
Yeah.
So, well, my thing is, that's getting me is I thought you said that we were behind in education, correct?
Yeah.
So why would you push me farther behind? See?
Well, yeah. But they'll do anything.
It's hypocritical. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's very hypocritical that you're trying this. You're trying a move. And let's, speaking of, forget Mary Bowser, let's go to this mayor of New York named Eric Adams. I got to talk about him. Because the immigrants coming in, they not getting jabbed.
Nope.
Hey, walk into New York, get your free phone, housing. They already got a plan to give immigrants $50 million for food, housing, so forth. Like that was passed last year. But Eric Adams doesn't mind them. He's just saying we don't want all of them coming in. We were trying to put them in New York, in Florida, and we were trying to put them here, right?
Yeah.
But the mayor of Texas said, hey, man, you say you want them, you got them, right?
Yep.
Now, let me tell you something. As much as I hate that for us because it's knocking us out, the mayor of Texas said you are not going to up in our census, and you're not going to up in our election patterns by that, right?
Yeah.
So they say, who's to say that people might laugh at me? Who's to say Donald Trump couldn't have won New York? Yeah, if you got that many immigrants in the system, you really don't know. Because I'm going to tell you why. Because it's a lot of black people in the country. You walk around anywhere and they'll tell you, I'm not vaccinated, I don't vote, I don't do anything, right?
Yeah.
But in immigrant case, speaking English, these people just have a number in the system. That's it. But they don't have any ID, whatever, or they do, but they're not going to tell you. So the thing that Eric Adams is doing, you're pushing black people on the street, but you got immigrants living in luxury hotels.
Backwards.
So tell me the problems y'all have had the most with Eric Adams down there in New York.
Well, one of the problems we have is that the crime is just completely out of control, even though he has said that his whole campaign was on crime, but the crime has gotten worse because he, like many beta males I've talked about in the man crisis, they talk a good game and then they create these intangible goals. Like he has this intangible goal of ending gun violence, but that's not something possible, and it's not something anybody can really measure. Second, he wants to go out here and he talks about putting cops on the street, but nobody sees the cops. And the whole thing is nothing is getting done because he talks a good game about getting stuff done, but he never has any sort of benchmarks or goals to set to meet any goals. Now, the other thing is that he's got this jab mandate in place for the private sector, and this is keeping many people from being able to go to work. So you have 1 million people who could be contributing to the city and paying taxes and going out here and building the economy, but he won't let them work for some arbitrary reason. I think it's, again, like Muriel Bowser, looking to gain favor with these politicians in Washington, but he won't let unjabbed people go to work. even though its CDC has already said that there's no difference between jabbed and unjabbed. And he's sitting there keeping this mandate in place, even though he says he's not going to enforce it, showing us how petty he actually is and not really being a leader. But again, this is what beta males do, like I talk about in the man crisis. They go out here and they create fiefdoms because they don't want to take any responsibility. And they also go out here and again, they don't really set any goals, like I said before, and they don't really create measurable standards or measurable benchmarks. And because they don't set measurable goals and benchmarks, you have a city that is basically still directionless, going absolutely nowhere. And people are frustrated with this guy. And they're frustrated because he cannot set any sort of direction for where he wants to take the city. And many people have written an article saying this man has no idea where he wants to go. He has no idea what he wants to accomplish. But if any of these people had read The Man Crisis, they would see the textbook beta male behavior, and they would have realized that you just made a mistake. Now, a lot of New Yorkers are realizing they made a mistake by electing this guy because he would rather go out here and hobnob with celebrities rather than hammer out policy and hammer out his vision for where he wants to take the city over the course of 4 years. It just shows that he's not fit for the job that he has, and he's not fit as a leader whatsoever. And your New York State looks like it's in the same place your New York was back in 1989 when we elected David Dinkins, the first black mayor, who was more like a lapdog, more like somebody that people show off like a toy dog, but not somebody who could go out here and do anything of substance because, again, no vision, no direction, and the city got worse under his incompetent leadership, just like it's under the incompetent leadership of this current mayor.
All right, let me put something in. Let me play this. This is I'm just veering off a little bit, but we're gonna get back to what we're talking about. I just want to show you this. This ain't even a minute long. Let me just play this right quick.
Can be tricky and sometimes trying to find the right soft.
So that was about a football player that got shot down there in D.C. He was riding around downtown.
Yeah.
He got robbed by 15 or 17-year-old teenager, right?
Yeah.
Took the gun. One of them shot him in the leg. I think one of them shot him in the glute, right?
Yeah.
You ain't got to expound on that much. What's your thoughts on that? My thoughts is, why you riding around the damn Hellcat? Daggone, you don't. Well, no, I can't say that. You can ride around what you want, but I'm just saying, consequences can happen, and you got to know people in these streets. Like I said, the atmosphere, said the crime is bad, so something could happen to you.
Yeah, but a lot of these politicians think that they can't be attacked like this. And I was talking to one of my family members, and I said, one of these days it's going to happen to one of these politicians on the street because of their inability to lead and their really dysfunctional policies. And what happened to this football player is what happens when your city isn't safe because you've got the wrong person in a leadership position. When you have an incompetent person in a leadership position, they focus on things that really aren't important, and they don't focus on the things that.
Bowsley worried about this?
No, she's not concerned. She's thinking about getting another job. A lot of these bootlicks, what they're thinking about is getting their next job, and they don't really take the job that they have currently seriously. All they want to do is go up the ranks to try to get another job. And for them, this is just another pit stop. And they're just thinking about putting bullet points on their resume. They're not thinking about how their policies impact others, because all it is that this is just something that they're doing just to get another job. Again, that's a hallmark of your, what I call baby boomer bootlick black people. they look to go out the ladder. They don't really think about the people that they're impacting. They're not thinking about how their policies impact people. It's all about what they can get out of the deal. And what they want to get is the next job. So she doesn't care until the gun is staring her in the face. And she's so arrogant, and like many others, they're just arrogant, thinking, oh, this will never happen to me, until society completely breaks down and they're staring down some like a weapon. And that's when they start to realize it.
Stop right there. You said baby boomer, right?
Yeah.
I just had a conversation yesterday with somebody about baby boomers, right? And then we were discussing what baby boomers are, right? And I had we was explaining to the brother, me and the young lady, we explained to him, baby boomers are the generation that came before the baby boomers was the baby boomers are the daughters and sons of the civil rights movement people. That's what baby boomers are, right?
Yeah.
They're the daughters and sons of the baby boomers. Then you got, I'm 35. What would that make me? A millennial, probably?
Yeah, you're millennial.
Okay. Gen X is what?
That's my generation.
What's that? 50 and up, right?
Yeah. That's my generation. We're in our 50s or in our late 40s.
Okay, y'all. So the Gen X's are the baby boomers.
We're the silent generation's kids.
Huh?
We're the silent generation's kids.
But the baby boomers kids, right?
No, the baby boomers kids were the greatest generation's kids. They were the ones who came after the Civil War. Not the Civil War, I mean World War II. They came after World War II. So a lot of them were born after.
So what's the generation now that's born in 2000? What are they?
Those are, I think, are Gen Z or so, or they're Gen Z, or they're Generation Alpha.
Okay, whatever. Well, that's okay. Well, but what I'm saying, not all baby boomers. We got some great ones, okay?
Yeah.
But a lot of people say about the baby boomers being born, the baby boomers really didn't have to fight for the civil rights movement. They were like the beneficiaries of it.
Yeah.
So that's why they're entitled. But now we're in a different type of entitlement where, like, and I know baby boomers that I can talk to, right? They're not offended, but this new generation is coming to the millennials too. But it wasn't at first, right?
Yeah.
When you go back, I'm on 35, but you go back and talk to somebody 30, 25, right?
Yep.
If you say anything to a lot of these people that offends them, you almost like outcast them. You can't say anything that hurt my feelings. But I'm just giving you sound advice, right?
Yeah.
So the baby boomers we're not that sensitive when it comes to joking, but for some reason the baby boomers vote a certain way. It's kind of weird. Like,
they tend to vote blue all the time.
Yeah, because they were the beneficiaries of the civil rights movement, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying, right? So that's what the beneficiary. But really, to tell you the truth, Gen Z ain't voting for nothing. They just like, but Gen Z got a lot of social justice warriors too.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to a brother about today. I kind of wish the women would stop doing it, and the men too, but it's mostly women doing this. I'm not really for this thing posting your child going to school all the time, because I think you should be able to keep your own children. That's me, right?
Yeah.
But he's just on that. But we gotta say that. I was talking to a young lady a couple months ago, and I said, those children are not your children. And she said, well, I'm the one that had these children. I said, yeah, but if you work a job, right? 8 to 5, right?
Yep.
Your child's in school, right?
Yep.
You get home about 6 or 7, right?
Yep.
Okay. That means really in the day you only have probably 3 good hours during the school year to even talk to your child. Maybe 3 hours or 4, maybe, right?
Yep.
Go to school, child go to school, and you might even work on the weekend. So really, to tell you the truth, if your child raised in the public school system, it's really they teaching your child. It's not you, it's them. That's why we got big problems going on.
Yeah, I talk about that in the woman crisis, about how the children really, they're not being taught by their parents, they're taught by the school, and even worse, they're taught by this media, and these days they're taught by things online. So the children aren't really getting any sort of guidance at home. And that's why the children are just so lost these days.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm about to play 2 videos, Shawn, and you about to get you gonna have a trip of these 2 videos. One of them is Billy Eckner, and one is Lizzo. Lizzo was on the VMAs the other night. She said, "I'm winning, bitch." That's what she said. Comedian named Ari Spears told her that she a beautiful woman and she need to put her clothes on. But it goes into what I'm saying today. I was talking to a guy, or looking at a status. I think I was looking at a status, and I was talking to a brother at it at the gym. And we talked about it, Shawn. And if you look at it, these children that go into school, I couldn't wear this, man. They got crop top, they got Jordan, they wearing tank tops, girls wearing short skirts. I mean, daggone, I'm gonna be dead on with you, man. You know, the young women got the hair weaves and the boys got the blue dye. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm in a damn metaverse and I don't know it, because really, to tell you the truth, your child don't know to go to school look like a pop star.
That's because the pop stars are teaching the children. They're not being taught by parents.
Well, like I said, I mean, you know, look, I send you information off this, right?
Yeah.
But I'm using this to get information to send Shawn James, right?
Yeah.
Not for your child to be sitting there watching TikTok all damn day.
They shouldn't be watching that anyway. They should be reading something or doing something else. I mean, when I was a kid, we had comic books and we had other things to do. We had homework to do. I was so busy.
What I'm saying, and if they are on this, they should be getting some learning.
Yeah.
Look here, man, you got white executives that use their cell phone only for business. And this is what I mean when guys were talking about social media allows everybody to be their own human being. You can be what you want to be, even though you're not.
Yeah, I talk about that in the woman crisis. I also talked about it in Stop Simping in Cyberspace. You can be anything you want. The whole thing is you create a virtual persona of yourself. And what's scary is people start believing the lie that they tell themselves in that persona. That's not a real person. And the relationships you're having aren't real. It's all imaginary. It's all virtual.
Well, if you look at the women on that and say, and the men, but one thing about it, I don't understand this. Like, the courtship is gone. It's more like a hookup culture now and a meetup culture more than the actual courtship process, right?
Yeah.
And then they get mad and say, I want a real man, right? Well, what generation would that be?
I think the last real people were Gen X. That was the last ones.
Okay, well, I'm gonna use my generation, millennials, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't build, I'm gonna say it just for the point, man, not everybody, okay? But a lot of us did not build solid offspring. We built emotional simps.
Yeah.
You bought men simps, and you bought, I'm gonna be dead on with you, women. They're going, some of them, not all, because you got some great ones. I know some great ones. But we have raised, and I'm going to say this, Shawn, some of the most loathing, self-serving, and narcissistic people we ever had. And I'm going to say this, and that COVID scam really proved that to me, because it shows you how self-serving people were.
Yeah.
And the people who didn't take the intervention, because Moderna says it's an intervention, not a jab, intervention. That's what they said. They copied over patent rights, right? See?
Yep.
Intervention. But it shows you that if Reed warns you not to do this, right?
Yep.
And you did it, that means we cared about your life more than you did. So the fact that you told family members, well, these other person not, that's not my business, that you can't come around unless you did this. What is that? You got a little leprechaun named Fauci sitting up there who's about to retire, and he's one orchestrating it. Well, he wanted to orchestrate it, he was part of it. Told you, well, I don't think they should come in your house if they haven't took the intervention. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And you listen to him. You ain't known Fauci all this time, and you worried about what he say?
You should have no say over anybody's life.
Yeah. So I made a thing up, Shawn. People say I didn't have no choice in that. I had to do what I had to do, right?
Yeah.
Well, the fact that you say I had to do what I had to do, you still made a choice. Right? We use words that are self-defeating. We say things, but then we don't know we say it. Well, hey, look, Shawn, I'm going to say, they said nurses, right? If you had 300 nurses working in that facility and 280 of them said, hey, we're not doing this, the other 20 are going to have to comply with the 200 that say that 280 say they're not going to do it. But this is what I call the school, Shawn. Can I give the name another name? School another name, Shawn? Can I give it another name?
I don't think you could.
Yes, I can. I'm going to give it an indoctrination camp.
Yeah.
So it's not education, it's indoctrination.
Yeah.
Lizzo, she's talking about body shaming. That nasty word, body shaming. But Lizzo also said she doesn't want an overweight man. So
it's a double standard.
Well, I thought about this thing. You have them say, I don't want an overweight man, but you are that. So it's kind of like you want, and then you say they're not crap, they're not this, and they're not that, right? Well, Shawn, back in the day, I'm just saying honest with you. If a woman told a man she didn't want him, okay, I'll find somebody who wants me, right?
Yeah.
That might end your life these days. So that's a disconnect right there, right? It might end your life. So you gotta be careful, man. You don't know what people are going through these days. I mean, but it's kind of like, it's a saying I got, Shawn, and I want you to understand what I'm saying. I know you will probably understand it. Intelligent people are being silenced so stupid people won't be offended.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's going on a lot. Now, let me get to the nitty-gritty here. I want Shawn to hear this. Send your followers, Shawn. I know you make some good videos sometimes. You make a lot of good videos, actually.
Thank you.
I get the point when you put them up. I'm pretty sure you got people up there that probably don't even, man, I ain't watching this guy crazy nut. He talking crazy. Here you go. I got to find it, though. I got to get the right one. All right, man. You go, Shawn, get ready. We about to get
where your shipping address types itself. Where all your texts go, everywhere you go.
Maybe like Lizzo, why don't you clap back? Why don't you clap back? Because bitch, I'm winning, ho.
Lizzo was clapping back in the best way possible by not clapping back. Yep, the Truth Hurts singer's name trended all weekend long after comedian Aries Spears made comments about her body to the art of dialogue.
I can't get past the fact that she looks like the emoji. Yo. Very beautiful girl. She's got a very pretty face, but she keeps showing her body off. Like, come on, man. Come on, yo.
Aries went on to make comments about his own body too, but insisted his quote, swagger and confidence made up for what he lacked.
I'm sorry, listen, I ain't the most in shape in the world, but I still, you know, when you're funny and you got swagger and confidence, and you decent looking, I think I'm at least handsome. You get.
As for what he thinks about Lizzo, the comment doubled down, taking this shot at the singer.
But a woman that's built like a mashed potatoes is in trouble.
But Lizzo proved being blessed and unbothered is the best revenge. Slyly addressing the controversy on stage at the VMAs as she accepted the trophy for video for good.
And now to the bitches that got something to say about me in the press. You know what? I'm not gonna say nothing.
She definitely said
They be like, Lizzo, why don't you clap back? Why don't you clap back? Because bitch, I'm winning. Ho.
Safe to say there is no slowing down for Lizzo. Before the show, she walked the red carpet in this over-the-top dark blue gown, rocking a dramatic dark lip color and a retro classic hairdo.
Feeling good as hell.
And she brought the good vibes to the stage, shutting up anyone who has something bad to say with the show-stopping performance.
Somebody else would never like myself alive. Guess I better learn to like this. It might take my whole life.
That's enough of that. Well, Shawn, I already put my thoughts on it last night. You weren't on my show last night. But
yeah.
This is kind of embarrassing. It's kind of embarrassing.
I'd have to say it's embarrassing.
Okay, good. What are your thoughts on this, though, man?
I'm just deeply disappointed at the sight of Lizzo. She's an embarrassment all around. I have to say, Ari Spears made some good points because every time your Lizzo comes out here, the only thing she shows us is her backside. And it's like the late David Carroll used to say, this is the black female Hottentot Venus, and all she has to show is her backside. So every time Lizzo gets on camera, all she's talking about is her backside, and she thinks that she's winning, but in actuality, she's losing because the people who are elevating her up here, they are just elevating her up there so they can secretly laugh at her. And that whole display that she put on the MTV Awards was another display that just provided entertainment for most of your white racists and your white supremacists and all of these other non-black detractors, because she's just basically a step and fetch it mammy. And this mammy doesn't even see how she's just being made a laughingstock, but she thinks she's winning, but she's actually losing, and she's further tarnishing the image of the modern day black woman. And you have a guy like Ari Spears trying to pull her back and trying to get her to stop embarrassing herself, but she further embarrasses herself because there are a whole host of enablers in modern day media, and these people just help her enable her to remain dysfunctional.
Just like they said on there. She's back.
Yeah, she's a laughingstock. She's a clown, and they make fun of her all the time.
Well, but like she said, I'm winning. Like she putting up the award, say, but Shawn, did you watch the VMAs?
I don't watch any of that garbage.
Good. Well, what I'm saying is, so she's trying to tell you she's winning because she won an award. But like you said, you're really losing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, proving me you won a VMA award means nothing to me. Here's what it is.
They gave her an award so they could laugh at her.
Well, she did step out the bounds and let you know I'm winning. What about you one thing, Shawn? That's what these women, I mean, just asking. Men too, but you know, I thought a bitch was a female dog.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
So why is she saying it?
She's saying that because she just doesn't really understand what being a woman is all about. It's a lot of these females out here. They don't know what being a woman is about. They don't understand that when you come out here and you're calling yourself things like bees and stuff like that, you're basically degrading yourself. And that's the whole irony of her whole situation. She's calling herself a B, but then she's not understanding, and then she says she's winning. And again, these are talking points that are diametrically opposed. But because this woman is in her feelings, she can't see that everything she's saying is contradicting itself. I mean, you call yourself a B and you say that you're winning, but how are you winning when you're degrading yourself? It just shows how deep the self-hatred goes inside of your Lizzo and how deeply troubled this woman is. And what's sad is she's got a whole bunch of people in Hollywood just exploiting her and taking advantage of her. And they're just basically making mockery of her. And she just can't see, like the Hottentot Venus, they are just having her on as some sort of sideshow or some sort of freak show to show how she's just completely grotesque in comparison to the white woman. And they're just making mockery of her as they're just watching the freak show that they're creating. I gotta do a video on her.
All right, now let me get to the next guy because I want you to make a video on this. Let me pull this clown up. Yeah, Shawn. Yeah, you might have to do a video on her about that one. That was a little bit. Well, as you would call it, grotesque, wouldn't you, brother?
Yeah.
Or was it a clown show?
It was a clown show and it was a freak show. I have to say it's more of a freak show.
All right, let me pull this up for you, man, because this guy is nut too. His name is Billy Eckner. He was there. I'm just showing you the propaganda they're pushing. They were really pushing propaganda those nights, so I just happened to catch wind of it. This guy, he's a little bit.
You might be asking yourself, can you actually create high-quality live streams?
That's comedian Billy Eichner during the Video Music Awards last night on MTV. He announced his new film Bros, which he says will be the first rom-com from a major studio featuring an all LGBTQIA+ cast members. As you heard directly, he called out the Supreme Court following the landmark Roe v. Wade reversal. Some in the LGBTQIA+ community fear the court may try to take away the right to same-sex marriage next. Batya Ungar-Sagar joins me now, Deputy Opinion Editor for Newsweek. Batya, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me.
So I think Eichner did a great job linking his film to a critical political moment right now. I mean, Clarence Thomas did ask the states to bring up a case to overturn Obergefell, which is the decision that guaranteed marriage equality in America.
Yeah, Clarence Thomas wrote.
Hold on, man. Let me pull up something. I ain't worried about him. Not on that. I want you to hear this. Forget that. I won't try to hear him talking. I'm trying to get you to hear this part.
On September 30th, I have a movie coming out called Bros. Bros is making history as the first gay rom-com ever made by a major studio. And the first where every role is played by an openly LGBTQ actor. Right? And I need you all there in theaters on September 30th because we need to show all the homophobes like Clarence Thomas and all the homophobes on the Supreme Court that we want gay love stories. And we support LGBTQ people. And we are not letting them drag us back into the last century because they are in the past and Bros is the future. On September 30th, I have a movie coming out called Bros.
He doesn't even know he's been putting a death swap.
What do you think about that, Shawn?
I think this guy he doesn't know the game that's been run on him. He's so eager to get a movie out there, he doesn't even understand the studio basically set him up. Because September 30th is considered the death slot for movies. At that time, they're throwing out the trash. Everything that's coming out from late August all the way up to mid-October is absolute just garbage being tossed out by the studios. And he's thinking, oh, I've got this alphabet rom-com, and it's the first alphabet rom-com, but this is going to be a box office failure. And the studio execs basically set him up so he could fail. And he's thinking, oh, I'm going to be able to try to persuade these people on the MTV Awards, which gets what, maybe a couple of 100,000 viewers at tops. That's not enough to open a movie at all. So the dude has been set up for failure. He's thinking, oh, I'm going to push my woke narrative, but he's been set up to fail from minute one. I mean, there's no audience for this alphabet rom-com. There's less than 1 million people, or maybe 3 million people tops, who are alphabet. So this movie is set up to fail from minute one. But you can't explain this to dude because he's so caught up in his identity, politics, and his agenda that he doesn't even understand. He's been set up to fail, and his movie is going to fail because there's no audience that's interested in seeing this.
Well, let me say this, brother. You know what I thought about when I saw this, man? I talked to my buddy about this at the gym today, man. And we made a point. We was in the sauna talking. Right?
Yeah.
He said, it's a lie. Their own community don't even watch this crap.
Yep.
WNBA, they don't watch this.
Nope.
So the fact he said he's just trying to promote the movie to try to get you to watch it because they know if he didn't say nothing, people wouldn't even care about this crap.
Nope.
It's gonna flop.
Yep. It would have came and went like the WNBA. I mean, nobody watches WNBA because it's all alphabet now, and nobody's gonna watch this because the alphabet audience is so small that there's not enough people to carry a project.
What you saying, Shawn? If they set this guy up for a big goose egg?
Yeah, they set him up for failure because in the entertainment schedule, the summer box office is at this point over at this point. So all the big summer movies have already premiered, and from September to about mid-October, they're taking out the trash before they get ready for the holiday movie season. So everything that comes out from right about now, August 30th, all the way up to about October, maybe about 17th or October 20th or so, because they usually like to get a good movie in for Halloween for the Halloween box office. Usually they just take out the garbage, dump the movies that they know they can't make any money on, and they just let those movies just fall and flop. And if something makes money, they may bring it back again. But in most cases, if that movie is out during this time period, it's just considered trash. And if you get in anything released on October, on what does he say, October, something like that? No, September 30th. September 30th, that's a dead movie. It's just not going to make any money.
Hey, he's hyping it up.
He's hyping it up, but nobody cares. I mean,
look, you know what, Shawn? I gotta find out how many people watch that damn VMAs, man.
Yeah,
that would tell me a lot. Don't you think?
That'll tell us. I'm gonna look it up now.
Yeah, look it up, man. See how people watch that damn VMAs, man. Because that guy got to be some type of nut. I saw it. Why he blasted Clarence Thomas Supreme Court again? Didn't you learn? Stop bringing up political ideology in your damn shit, man.
I mean, they say they got 3.9 million viewers across multiple cable channels, and that's in a country of 330 million people. That's nothing. That's not even a neighborhood in the Bronx.
Damn. Wow.
That's what it says here on the Hollywood Reporter. They average 3.9 million viewers across 12 channels and the CW. So that's nothing. That's nothing.
So what you saying? He hyping it up to get a letdown.
Yeah.
So you know what? After September 30th, Shawn, we're gonna do another show. We'll probably do one before the end. But after September 30th, give it about a week, and we can find out this movie didn't gross what it grossed.
Yeah. This movie's been set up for failure.
But he actually telling you everybody's played by openly LGBT. That turned you off right there.
Yeah.
But at least he did let you know. Let me ask you a question.
How many theaters is this movie going to be in? I mean.
Well, let me ask you a question. You heard of a show called P Valley, right?
Yeah.
Why are they putting this stuff out there, man?
They're putting it out there because they've been pushing this agenda for years, and they keep trying to push this agenda, trying to indoctrinate people into this whole ideology. But most people are not wired for this. I mean, most
That
men
guy
want
is a
women.
beta male.
Yeah,
He's a beta male, Shawn. That guy we watching, he's a beta male.
yeah.
You know who
I
he
mean,
is?
yeah, he is a beta, and betas do stuff like that. I mean, he can't promote his own material on his own, so he comes out on this MTV Awards to push it, and he's going after Clarence Thomas, which is not going to sell your movie, and he can't sell the movie because the movie is just poorly done. I mean, it's probably some half-done movie that's poorly made, and he's just sitting there trying to get people to go and join him based on identity politics again. But we've seen how badly this does in the comic book industry, and it's going to do just as bad at the box office when they try to push this.
But you know what that show, Shawn?
Yeah.
Kind of like you always say, get woke, go broke, huh?
Yep. That's what's going to happen. They're going to get woke and they're going to go broke.
But have they not learned?
They never learn. I mean, he's calling out the homophobes, not understanding you need the homophobes' money in order to make your movie successful. And the whole thing is, you need an audience to sell your movie to, because these woke types, what I've learned for over the last 5 years of seeing them destroy the comic book industry, is these people talk a good game about their politics, but you never see these people spend any of their money. I mean, Marvel and DC Comics have been pandering to these woke types, but these woke types will never spend $1 on any of the products that they say that they want so badly. You'll hear these guys constantly talking about, we need representation, we need representation, we need representation. But when it's time to spend their money, you don't see any of these people show up at the comic shop. You don't see any of these people at the movies. You don't see any of these people at the streaming service. I mean, let's look at Lightyear, which came out from Disney earlier this year when they were launching blockbusters. That movie flopped so hard, but many of the woke types who were saying that they were all for that kiss between those two alphabet women, they didn't show up to spend a single dollar on a ticket. But then they want us to go out here and make product, not understanding in business, it doesn't work like that. In business, people make products that the customer goes out here and buys. They don't go out here but make products for people who can't show up to the shop.
And man, speaking of that, Starbucks is talking about going cashless, by the way.
Yeah, well, Starbucks about to go broke too, because people use cash because they want to use cash. And with cash, you know how you stand. And the whole thing is they want to get people with this money, with this cashless system, so they can go and be able to think they can control people with things like social credit scores, not understanding all you're going to do is create a black market, and it's not going to work.
Well, Starbucks is becoming woke too as well. But nevertheless, let's get to one other little topic before we get out of here. We had one thing by Joe Biden, and I want Shawn to explain it because I'm going to explain it my damn self. They've been talking about, oh yeah, Joe Biden, you did it. You're the greatest. You relieved student loan debt. Not quite. No. Actually, all you did, you lying bastard, was what? You took the money out of Wall Street, saying Wall Street was the one that told Joe Biden to relieve that student loan debt.
Yep.
But guess who it's going to now? It's going back to you, me, everybody else. You think they just erase some debt? No. No debt. No. As a matter of fact, it's going to increase inflation, and colleges are going to make more money because they say, oh, yeah, we erase your debt. You can sign up for 2 more classes. I'm going to get my money back.
Which creates a vicious cycle.
But when you first heard this, Shawn, once again, Shawn, why do people always fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
Very simple. They're greedy.
Well, when you heard that he talking about releasing in $10,000, Shawn, that's probably just the interest.
Yeah. That's not even a scratch on the interest.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking you if you did go to college or not. But I mean, I was just looking at the front of a newspaper in Richmond the other day, and I just happened to be at a gas station. You know, sometimes they had the newspaper in the front, right?
Yeah.
Shawn, this one woman on the front newspaper says she was $83,000 in debt to school.
Yep.
So I'm gonna bring it to you like this. You know, most of these college students, you ever realize they live in where? Apartments, right?
Yep.
Then you ask them, why can't you get a house? Because I'm in debt. And then even if they do get a house, they're still struggling to pay the bills, right?
Yep.
You know, in 2 months, they're saying that 3.8 million people may be on the street. Electric bills are backed up. Water bills are backed up. Rent relief programs are gone. Eviction relief programs are gone, right?
Yep.
And I told people, along with other friends, you need to watch this because they could pull the rug out from under you. See, these people are working on a true class system. It's always been class.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I know the Democrats talk about racism, this, racism, that, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Which is true. But they're more so word now today, looking like more like a class system and a spacism system. You can get in this space if you got it, but if you ain't got class, we don't want you in this space. Mary Bowser fits the example that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She's an elitist. Barack Obama's an elitist. Look, Shawn, it's kind of like the Young and the Restless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't understand what these people are doing, but I like the point. And look, I know one thing you're going to do. Them 2 videos I showed you at VMA, you probably can make a video on those 2 guys.
Yeah.
Them nuts. But like you said, so I got to look that up. September 30th is what date again?
That is when they take out the garbage. I mean, that's the whole garbage period. I mean, I'm going to look at my calendar. And yeah, that's the last Friday in the month of September. So that's right in the dead zone, Hollywood's dead zone. Because there's 2 dead zones. There's the September dead zone, and then there's the January, February dead zone. So in those 2 dead zones, that's where they just dump garbage and call it a day.
I got some news from you from New York, brother.
What?
Well, here it is. New York City's rise arrest for low-level crime under New York Mayor Eric Adams. And I'm going to send it to you, right?
All right.
And I want you to look at it and just tell me what you're looking at in these buzzwords. I'm looking at it at the same time. Misdemeanor arrests in New York City have jumped 25% in the first 6 months of Mayor Eric Adams' administration. The first increase in nearly a decade, offering an early glimpse into the mayor's focus on so-called quality of life crimes. But it's not clear what the arrests have had on safety, and some have worried that this number of people of color, including the arrests, will result in a further destabilization of already fragile lives and lead to a new era of mass incarceration. All right. Stop right there. I'm gonna keep reading it. But what you think about that? Mass incarceration. You heard it, right? See?
Yeah, he's looking like he's trying to follow Rudy Giuliani, not understanding that era is over. And the whole thing is, when you mass incarcerate people, eventually these people are going to have to leave. And yes, it makes it look like you did something on the surface, but the damage is done long term because you're just not really doing anything about the real serious crimes that are out here, and you're not really relieving any sort of the problems as related to crime. It's just not really working like it did 30 years ago. And that's the whole thing about this mayor. He's stuck 30 years in the past, not understanding that we're in a different world and a whole different time. And this whole attempt to try to go after these small crimes is not going to be as effective as it was 30 years ago.
All right. You're on the article, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and read that part. Crimes like fare evasion. I'm just going through this. thing right there. Go ahead.
All right, it says crimes like fare evasion, petty theft, and offenses committed with children are helping drive the increase, with arrests for jumping subway turnstiles increasing more than 100% over year, according to data from New York's Division of Criminal Justice Services and Police Reform Organizing Project. Public defenders say they're spending time on cases for offenses that had not been priorities in recent years. We're seeing arrests come through for things we haven't seen for a long time, says Eliza Orleans, public defender with the Legal Aid Society, who ran successfully for Manhattan DA. These offenses often cases of minor violations, sleeping on a park bench, taking 2 seats in the subway. It cycles people through the criminal justice system. In a statement, Adams referred to his own experience with police abuse. The mayor was arrested and beaten by police officers when he was 15 and expressed his opposition to heavy-handed policing. But he stood by the policy, saying his administration is also investigating solutions to give young people opportunities. I will
right,
both.
Stop right there. Stop right
All
there.
right.
Yeah, stop right there. Okay. He's a damn liar.
Yeah.
Number one. Marion Adams just talked about Hip Hop Week, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, Marion also said they need to ban real music, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay. You got a DA that's sitting right there, an attorney in Atlanta, Georgia, who said that she was going to run. She the reason why them damn cops got off in the Rashad Brooks case, too. But she going on the rappers for RICO Act. Well, so I'm going to tell you something. The Jewish empire, the hip-hop industry is the reason why these rappers are allowed to put out that material they putting out.
Yep.
So she going after them in RICO cases. No, why you don't go after the real people?
Because they're the ones who paid for her campaign.
Well, yeah. I'm going after Trump and I'm going after the election. I'm going after this. Why are you going after some rappers over some RICO cases? They might be a problem, but they're not the real problem. The problem is who let them make this rap. Right?
Yeah.
The same thing, Mayor Adams talking about you want to ban drill music, but then you want to say, let's have a hip hop week.
They talk out of 2 sides of their mouth.
Like even this article, like talking about all this fare evasion, 2 seats on the subway. You've been knowing about this. Right?
Yeah.
It's not new. Like, talking about misdemeanor offenses and he worried about crime. Man, you're not worried. The only time, now you talking about he been beat up by some police officers. I'm like, okay, if you say you did, I don't know. Mary Adams probably doesn't even live in the city of damn New York. That man probably live on the outskirts somewhere.
Yeah.
Mayor Adams took a vacation down there with some Bitcoin executives when he first got the mayor.
Yeah.
All right. Mayor Adams is so detached from reality, it's out of this world.
That's what I've been saying.
And he don't know he know what he's talking about. I mean, now look, do you think Mayor Adams can run for governor?
No. He's incompetent. He's already proven he's incompetent. He can't even handle this job. He's not fit for this job.
Well, it says blacks and Hispanics are disproportionately. I'm not going through the whole article, but you can read it as you know. I'm just saying.
I read it.
Okay. Major felonies such as murder, rape, and robbery up by 36%. Shooting and homicide down 11%. While low-level offenses like petty theft have increased 42%. Now, me personally, I'm going to tell you my personal opinion. I do not believe the shootings are down. I think they don't. They don't report them. Exactly. Because every time I look around, I hear about a shooting in New York, okay?
Yep. That's all I hear on the news.
And if you didn't get shot, you still robbed somebody with a gun probably.
Yep.
Right? So it didn't matter if you got shot or not to me on that one. I got to tell you what happened in Richmond a couple weeks ago. We had last weekend. We had a gun buyback. This is a city of 230,000 people, right?
Yeah.
They said it was a success. Do you know how many people showed up to the gun buyback? 165 people.
That's a failure.
They called it a success. They said, yeah, we got a lot of guns. We got 465 guns, and they gave you a $250 gift card to Amazon for an assault rifle, Foot Locker, Walmart, $200 for a handgun, $25 for an opera gun, and $150 for a rifle. Now, Shawn, 165, an apartment unit might have 700 units in it, right?
Yeah.
165 people. What is that? They said they ran out of gift cards and money they give people. They said we didn't expect to see so many people come. 165. I guarantee you what. I know a guy literally told me, I'm going up there, turning in some guns, go get me a new gun. They had a gun show Saturday at the Richmond Raceway Complex, all right?
Yeah.
So what? People take money to go get them a new gun.
They just they give you a broken gun or an old gun. You're thinking you got something.
So do you really think Mary Ann talking about these gun back? We're getting guns off the street. You believe it?
No.
Okay, good. Because that's the case. Why the brother? And matter of fact, why the guy I told you from the Redskins or Commanders, why did he get shot then if you're getting guns off the street by some teenagers?
Obviously, they're getting them from somewhere.
Exactly. They're not talking about the fentanyl coming to the country. Remember one thing. You say go woke, go broke, but only talk about crime when it benefits me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You say it when it benefits you. Like my brother Frank saying that shit. You can print a gun.
Yep.
Exactly.
I know that to be true.
So it goes to show you, Shawn, like I said, the hypocrisy continues. Now, I just gotta ask you 2 questions, and then I'm gonna let you put out your information. Going forward, for right now, it's August 30th, 2022. Midterm is up. It's November 8th, 2022. What would be your advice to people who are going to get involved in the political process? Black people, really. And whatever. Yeah, what would you advise to people? Don't vote for bootleg politicians.
Yeah, that's part of my advice. Don't vote for these black bootlicks, 1. And 2, don't vote blue. And 3, ensure that you get your tangibles in exchange for your vote. So since there are no tangibles on the table, you need to stay home.
Joe Rogan said, hey, your freedom's at stake. Vote Republican. Joe Rogan said that.
Yeah.
And also, let me say something about Joe Rogan, by the way. Like him or not, he did have Aaron Rodgers on the show, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say Jason Whitlock, like him or not. But guess what? Jason Whitlock brought up a whole document the other day, and he showed Stephen A. Smith saying, Kyrie Irving, you doing wrong. Michael Wilbon, you doing wrong. Now the CDC said everybody's under the same guidelines. What you got to say now?
They're all silent.
Exactly. About Deshaun Watson. You got on Deshaun Watson, but you had a player for the Buffalo Bills, and they say gang raped the woman. So they say. He ain't tell you not as boisterous about it.
Nope.
See? So, but I remember when the intervention was going on, and they were attacking Kyrie and attacking Aaron Rodgers, right? But to me, Aaron Rodgers and Kyrie Irving are what? They look
black.
like they look like the ones to me.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why Joe Rogan brought Rodgers on his show. You understand?
Yep.
So it goes to show me that good things happen to those who wait. But it also show you in the end, when it's all said and done, Shawn, history will be kind to those who were ignored, jeered, talked down upon, treated badly, outcast, and looked down upon for just saying, I didn't want you to do this, but I cared about you. But you got mad with us and said, hey, put a mask on. Stay away from me. Don't do this. Don't do that. Because the no good damn line CDC told you what it was. And now they can't even get that together. They're trying to say, oh, the monkeypox is coming, but you didn't tell me that. You said it first, anybody can get it. But they just came out the other day in Richmond, Virginia, and said, Shawn, that now heterosexual people can go get the monkeypox jab, right?
Yeah.
But wait a minute, but you told me 99% of the gay men was getting it, though. So what is this? Are you trying to, I don't know, pull my leg again, perhaps?
Yep.
New game. Okay, and what's your second bit of advice for people?
Well, when it comes down to people, they really have to really understand that these leftists are insane, and they're getting ready to take the country in a bad direction. So when you go out here and vote, again, if they're not offering tangibles, don't vote. But again, if you have to, I would not be voting blue no matter what.
Vote blue no matter who, but you say vote blue no matter, no, don't vote blue no matter what.
Because they're insane.
Now let me bring up one more thing. That would be my advice too, but we got one other thing. Shawn, you talk about the man crisis, right?
Yeah.
What do we do with the beta males?
There's not much we can do. If we can't educate them, there's not much we can do with them. There's a lot of them are screwed up beyond repair. But there are some that you can go out here and educate and teach, and that's what I've done with the man crisis. The book has transformed a lot of lives of young men out here, but those are the ones you can teach if you get to them early on and you get them in men's groups and you deprogram all that foolishness they've learned from their single mom and from television and from these far leftists. If you can get to them early, you can deprogram a lot of that nonsense. And they need interventions from logical, critical thinking men. And that's how we have to invest time in them so that they can become better men. But then there are some like out here, like that guy who made that rom-com. They're completely lost. But a good chunk of them can be helped out if you give them the information. And I've helped out a lot of men with the man crisis in my live streams and my videos.
Talk about the man crisis for a minute.
Well, the man crisis we have is due to just the dysfunctional way we've been raising boys to become men, because during the baby boomer period, we thought we were going to create this kinder, gentler, softer, new age man. But this male just does not know how to function in society. When this male goes out into the world, he falls completely apart and he just malfunctions because he expects the world to cater to him, but he doesn't understand the world doesn't cater to men. Men have to go out here and fight and struggle. Men have to go out here and really go out here and put in some work. But these males are not equipped to work because their single mothers and their beta male fathers give them everything. And because they give them everything, they're not equipped to go out in the world and do the work of men. And whenever they get pushed or pressed or they get some sort of stress, they just want to quit or give up. And sometimes they want to quit and give up because the goals they have are completely unrealistic. They don't know how to set goals. They don't know how to meet benchmarks. They don't know how to measure anything. They have no real understanding of how the world works. And when you put these men in the world and they wind up trying to function, they fall apart. And even worse, when you put them in leadership positions, anything you put them at, have them working on is going to fall completely apart.
That's really interesting. You know why? Talking to a young lady one time, and she said, daggone, so what stresses you? I said, well, I told her, you're not going to really meet too. I said, well, first of all, you ain't going to meet too many men that can take your stress. Because I said, men supposed to sit there. They got into stress going. They supposed to say, we got to find a way to solve this problem, right? That's right. So the fact that you hear young men even talking about they ready to commit suicide and stress, like I said, these children have not been through nothing. They are like, these are got to be some beta chumps going on. But like you said, they realized what their beta dad was doing.
Yeah. They don't know how to problem solve.
And the women be stressed, but what I'm saying, I pulled up a statistic on my show, Shawn, and people may not agree with it, but it is what it is. You know what I looked up, Shawn?
What?
Very interesting. This could be in the woman crisis. It might not be in the book, but I'm saying this should be part of the woman crisis, okay? The typical woman that works a 40-hour work week, right?
Yeah.
Is stressed the hell out. Why is that? Naturally, you want to be attached to your child. You want to be around your child, right? You want to go to school. You want to do all these things, right?
Yeah.
But if you really look at the feminist movement, right?
Yeah.
I mean, remember back in the day, they used to say a woman places in the home, right? Remember that?
Yep. Yeah, they did.
Okay. Some people say it sounds sexist, but to be honest, I'm not gonna say it's in the home, but it's not really working a 9 to 5, maybe a business or something, your own business. But really, to tell you the truth, this corporate thing with these women, and I want to bring this up. talking about working in offices and things, right?
Yeah.
Here's the deal. It's a toxic environment for them sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
When you're dealing with too many people. And emotional imbalance doesn't really work that well when you're working in these offices, right?
No.
And they say, I don't have time to cook. Well, I'm just going to tell you something. If you're eating fast food every day, you're going to be stressed out because the hormones and chemicals in it going to stress you out. And, you know, I could go by any day, Shawn. I wish you'd be there in Richmond. You could ride by 5 Chick-fil-A's in Richmond, and you'll see Chick-fil-A packed around the corner, McDonald's packed around the corner. Burger King, maybe not so much. But you say you don't have time to cook. No, just say you don't want to cook because you got too much.
A lot of them can't even cook. They were never taught.
Well, yeah, well, that could be true too. But I'm just telling you that they were this thing with just being so entitled. And I do, that's why I appreciate you saying in your book of the Man Crisis and stop simping in cyberspace, right?
Yeah.
Well, stop simping in cyberspace means I'm gonna be dead honest with you. You know what that means?
What?
Stop telling the woman that you're gonna give her $200 when you meet her.
Yeah. That's what I try to tell guys. Don't give them no money. Because when you do that, you gas their head up and make them think that they're more than there are.
Well, you know, some people don't like this, and this is a true statement. And I've said it many times, Shawn. Beyonce, Cardi B, just same as the names, right?
Yeah.
They talk about songs about being single, but they're married.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that kind of oxymoron to you?
It's kind of hypocritical as I see it.
Exactly. So my thing with them two, just bringing them up, they get this idea of I want to be Cardi B, right? But if you look at it, they call it being ratchet, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, you associated a ratchet woman with being one from the hood back in the day, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't really apply no more because you can see one in the office, you can see one here or whatever they say it, right?
Yeah.
They got a new term called bougie ratchet. But
yeah.
I thought about this thing. When you say stop sipping in cyberspace, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that men say, and I see men do it too. I want a woman that cooks, pays the bills. Instead of telling these women, if you got a daggone man actually coming to you telling you, let's go 50-50.
All right, I'll be back in a second. I just need to go on somewhere.
No, you good. Well, what I'm telling him that, you know, going 50-50 and stuff, that sounds like a roommate to me. That's not like, you know, people don't say that's not a real man. I don't really care, right? If you say it's a real man, that's what you want, but you set up your relationship you want to, but that is not the life that y'all should be living to me in my eyes. But who am I? I'm just Keith Bernard, right? So you can't get mad at me. It is what it is. So, but it is what it is, and it is what it's not. Now I'm going to shout out my information. My information is kingbgmedia.com, King BJ Johnson, YouTube, Bernard 1120 on Instagram, King BJ Fitness 32 Instagram, Twitter 87BJ1. Then we have what's the other one I got? I got another one too.
All right.
Outside 1919 BJ.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. You back. That's good. Yeah, just saying about the beta males.
Yeah.
You gotta, hey, look, man, beta males, but then you got a certain thing they call in the woman now, the alpha female, which is actually a off oxymoron.
Yeah.
So, but it is what it is. But I just want you to know that. Go ahead and shout out anything else you got going on too as well.
Well, if everybody wants to pick up my book that we've discussed, The Man Crisis, you can find it on Amazon.com right now. And I'm gearing up to start the SJS Direct Fall 2022 catalog. And the book that will be coming out later this fall will be The Woman Crisis, which is the companion to The Man Crisis, and details all of the issues that are leading to women winding up not being able to function in life. So that book will I hopefully be coming November 2022, and I'm hoping to get a pre-order page up soon. So The Woman Crisis is on near the finish line, and I'm hoping to get that book out to you guys on November of 2022. Until then, you can pick up my other books on the SJS Direct imprint, like the 2022 books Isis Legacy and East-Team Horror of the Hyena Woman. You can find those on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And you can also find my other books on other online booksellers, all 80 of them, on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to request a video, you can drop a Cash App at Cash App Shawn S. James.
Okay, but you know what that shows, man?
Yeah.
That's good that you got that all, going on. I'm actually looking for your Cash App right now. My daggone thing. I can't even find it. I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it for you. I'll drop it to you.
Yeah, drop it.
Let me see where I can find it. Okay. I'm going over here. Here we go. I will. Here we go. Dropped it in the chat. And I will drop it into the private chat as well. So here's my Cash App for everybody. If you want to donate to the Cash App, you can donate to the Cash App, and that will.
Let me get it straight. I'm about to do it right now. And by the way, y'all, watch out on this Cash App thing with Mr. Biden, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I got a funny feeling the idiots are getting ready to they might even start messing with that.
Yeah, they already are, but I always report that anyway. So I always report it no matter what happens. So I just report it constantly.
Oh, shit. That's what it is. Okay. Wait a minute. I think you got it. Uh-oh. I think I made a little mistake last time. I donated to you, but that I must have donated. I might have donated something because you got the S in there, right?
It's a $, Shawn S. James.
Yeah. I think I did have a Shawn James there. I think I might have gave this. Wait. I got it right. But there you go. I think I might. The last time I just said somebody named Shawn James. I think I might have gave somebody else. I'm sorry. Shit happens, man. Hey, man. I ain't perfect. Let me pull this up right quick. But I'm glad that you, like I said, you did come on tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like I said, it's been a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And people don't. I'm gonna say this, Shawn, to you. Just pointed out that. Let me tell you the truth. You know that old saying. We don't understand the danger. Do you think people really understand the danger they are in right now? I'm just asking.
No, they take their lives for granted, so they don't really see the big picture.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, like you take it for granted.
Yeah.
But it could be gone just like that.
That's what they don't understand. They think that everything is going to go on forever, which is a major problem when you're dealing with baby boomers. They don't really appreciate what they have because everything's been given to them. So they think that it's always going to be here, but not everything is going to be here all the time. Everything that you have could be taken in an instant. And this is something that flies over the head of the baby boomer because they've been given so much that they don't appreciate what's there. And then they come up with these lofty high apple pie in the sky ideas, not understanding this is what led to the collapse of Egypt, led to the collapse of Rome, and other civilizations. They don't understand that history is starting to repeat itself, and it's because you get a bunch of people caught up in their decadence, and they don't really understand that what you had in abundance can quickly be taken just like that.
Well, like you said about decadence, right?
Yeah.
I already told you before, Shawn. In this society, up is down, down is up, right?
Yep.
Left is right, or right is left, one or the other, right?
Yep.
So we got to think. And I know you're a book reader. You heard of the book, The Art of War, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever they tell you, do the opposite.
Yep.
Don't believe what they tell you. Because they could be, like I showed you with Biden earlier when we first started.
Yep.
Hey, I told you I can't stand the police. Oh, yeah, those police are all beating up black people. Well, guess what? Police still beating up black people. I don't show it to you no more because I want you to. Remember, BLM, talking about police violence. Hey, Shawn.
Yep.
You still thinking about BLM today?
Nope. BLM is forgotten.
Could they come out for the 2022 midterm?
They probably will because they're dumb. They were useful idiots.
Well, you know one thing I found out, Shawn. What does a society do when they're useful idiots? They can't use them anymore.
They get rid of them.
Exactly. And that's why Jerome Powell set you and told you that there will be a recession and there will be some economic pain. That's what he said. Federal Reserve told you that now.
Yep.
He told you last week. So all this stuff about this low unemployment, they keep telling you, well, Shawn, you're a smart man. You know, low unemployment only means that means a lot of people either they're not applying or they apply for a job 6 months, they didn't get it. Or better yet, they might not be in the system because, hey, man, you told me to take your intervention, but I didn't want it. So I'm out the workforce by default.
Yeah, that's what happened to me in 2008.
What? The mortgage thing?
No, my unemployment ran out and they forgot all about me.
Yeah. So it's not unemployment only filled in by those who file, not just by saying that, oh, it's low. Yeah, it'd be low. You can drop it 2%. That don't mean people working. It's only measured by the labor force. But of course, we got to understand wordplay and numbers and stuff. We don't understand. But nevertheless, I do thank you for coming on once again. And hey, man, hey, look,
all right.
When you get them, when you see that little bit of Billy Hector thing, right?
All right.
Just make a funny video, man. I know it can be funny as hell because it was funny. I know you were laughing, like you said, this guy, he don't know they didn't even set him up.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna make the video on. He doesn't even know how he got played. I mean, anybody in the entertainment business knows September 30th. That's not a date you want. You want a June date, a May date, and possibly a July date or a December or November date, but you do not want a September date for your movie.
Yes. Well, I just wanted you to say this. Well, I'm glad that you said that. Hey, look, because it's September 1st in a day and a half.
Yep.
And
that's tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow, August 31st, right? Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah.
And they're going to be taking, hey, look, and it's time to take out the trash. We got to start taking our trash starting November 8th, 2022. Yep. Let's take out the trash.
Yep.
Can we do that?
Time to take out all that blue garbage.
And look, as a matter of fact, you up there in New York, right?
Yeah.
I know in some of them cities that I've been to Chicago, they say no dumping, right?
Yeah.
Well, daggone much trash we got right there sitting on up in that Capitol building. We got a lot of trash to take out. You know what I'm saying? We can dump off at least, I'm going to tell you something. We could probably dump off at least 400 politicians out of 435, and that make me happy.
That would work for me.
Yeah, but just take your time, brother, and just have a good night.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you for having me on.
You too, bro.